What's up guys, WOOO here, back again with another Division 2 build video. Welcome back. Today's build, this is my take on the backpack talent Overclock, which is, you know it guys, sorely underused in any format of the game. You will not find this in the DZ, you will rarely find this in PvE content anywhere. Why? Because, yeah, the talent's a little bit situational to say the least, and I'm being nice, I'm being conservative. But I found a little bit of a way that this talent works, and it works quite well in close proximity missions. Stay close and personal, you and your teammates will get some really sexy buffs. And that's what I like about this build. Take this into DUA on Legendary, and you and teammates will be thanking you after the game, realising that you were the buffer of buffers, and that's what I'd like to hear, like to see. So this has a little bit of value in legendary content, and definitely heroic content if you stick together as a unit. If you drift apart, you have a little bit of a problem, and the only personal benefit is you, and maybe one extra person in your squad. But anyway, enough of the jibber jabber. If you enjoy this build, you enjoy the video, you know what to do, thumbs doodle, it helps me and the channel, and of course, if you're new to the channel, drop the woo bomb on the sub button, ding the bell to be notified when I upload my shizzle. Guys, let's woo this. Here's the build. Something weird and wonderful, is it? Let's go through and I'll explain. So, Survivalist is my chosen specialization. And why am I using that on this build? Pretty simple, really. For me, this is, or it never has been, a go-to spec. When I first started the game, Division 2, it was the spec I chose, because if we remember, we can recollect back when days gone by, ARs were tied to Survivalist, and you had to, again, rank up your AR and you get the higher percentage bonus by using Survivalist spec. Yep, so that was my first specialization, but once the Technician specialization dropped, then I quickly changed, and I was Technician all the way on most of my builds, because I mostly run skill builds. Now, this I'm using because two reasons really. The first reason is the outgoing healing of 15% is beneficial on the build. It helps the teammates, and that's what this build is all about, is buffing your allies. Also, 10% skill haste while in cover does help. It helps a lot, and that's why I'm using that. It's fun. It's a fun build to use. Again, situational. Other options in terms of specializations, you can go down the Technician route. That would be the other one I would look at. However, yes guys, you've got to have the right pieces to get it absolutely top tier, and firstly you need that passive 1 skill tier to maybe add a bit of extra armor, a bit more survivability, but again, it's up to you. Now, I'm 726k armor, 300k health, there's no offensive, no defensive, it is all skill doodahs on this build. Let's go through the pieces. Now the mask, guys, this is the first piece of Murakami Industries, which offers skill duration, repair skills, and skill damage. And I've tried to get my pieces as max as possible to really optimize the damage, the skill haste, or skill repairs. So with this, you can see, guys, it's skill haste, skill damage, and skill haste again as a 12% mod. This is a god sausage roll piece. I like this. Now, I've opted for the 3-piece Murakami. Why? 10% skill damage. I like that. Repair skills, I'll need that as well because I'm rolling with a Hive Restorer, so it's nice to have as much repair skills as possible. And skill duration does help a little bit for my turret. Now, the holster is the second piece of Murakami, and that is skill haste and skill damage. Now, the knee pads, they are Wyvernware. Again, this is another god roll piece. It is skill haste and skill damage, and the Wyvernware brand set offers me 10% skill damage, and that's all I want, is what one piece of Wyvernware for that 10% elevation of skill damage. The backpack, guys, is the Murakami Industries, the last of the three, and you can see, guys, it is skill damage, repair skills, and skill haste again as a mod. Now, in terms of the mods, you could opt for skill duration. That would mean your turret would last a little bit longer, so you could in theory get another 30% skill duration on this to really again push out your turret for as long as possible. I tested this, and for me, I didn't feel it was needed. There were so many times I was dismantling the turret, so I didn't think it was that viable. For some players, you may find it beneficial. For me, not so much. I went skill haste, so I can get the skills back a little bit quicker, even if it is a fraction of a few seconds here and there. It does help for me. Now, you could opt for something like repair skills. That would really boost your repair skills. That's a really good option. But you have several different ways. You could get up to an extra 60% repair skills, which is good. I've just went for skill haste just to get this back as quickly and efficiently as possible. Just trying to, again, rack up my skill haste best way I can. But for you guys, try repair skills and let me know what you think in the comment section. But the talent is Overclock. Allies within 7 meters of your deployed skills gain 25% reload speed and reduces their active cooldowns by 0.2 seconds each second. And again, for every 5 seconds, obviously the agent, the ally is within that 7 meter radius, you know they're going to be a second better off in terms of a skill cooldown. And that is okay. It's good. It's not amazing. It's not top tier. It's situational. But for someone that's rolling with a skill build that it's going to get a lot of skill damage, and you've got Overwatch on the chest piece, you know what's going to happen? They've got that 10% extra skill damage. Was it 12% if I recollect? And then, not to mention, they're going to have some decent reload speed, and of course their skills are going to come back quicker. So it has a good amount of variety on this. Anyone that's rolling with a DPS talent, for example, they're rolling with a DPS build that has just say as an example, the Pestilence. Then we know the Pestilence reload speed takes forever. It's like waiting for a bus to turn up. With this 25% reload speed, I'm sure your allies will thank you later for that nice little buff. The gloves, guys, they are the BTSU gloves. BTSU. So why am I using this on this build? Okay, so we've got skill haste and repair skills, but I'm using it for the talent transference overclock. So your hive will have 15% hive skill haste per skill tier, and the cooldown this is crazy. It's a second. It literally is, which is awesome. And detonating a hive refreshes your skill cooldowns and grants overcharge for 15 seconds if that's skill tier 6, which we are. This effect also applies to all allies. All allies, which is Ace. Allies receiving this effect are unable to benefit again for 2 minutes, which is 120 seconds. And that's a nice trick to have up your sleeve. And again, getting that back and having that nice little overcharge on your assault turret is pretty cool, and it offers a little bit more damage, and that's nice. And again, it's just going to benefit your teammates. This is a good option. I like BTSU gloves. And this is not so much a healer build. This is, I would honestly say, a very versatile build for PvE, where you could switch the pieces around and have a different build. Seriously, it works. So that's why I've opted for the BTSU gloves. And finally, the chest piece is my Hannah U chest piece, which is at 10% skill haste. Yes, guys, more skill haste. So skill haste, skill damage, and more skill haste yet again. Kinetic momentum, which is, in my opinion, perhaps the best chest piece talent for anything in the game. Love this. I love kinetic momentum. Till the cows come home. Great piece. Now with this, guys, when in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%. Up to 15 stacks per skill. That's per skill. Lost when on cooldown. So each skill will have a stack. And again, we'll demonstrate in the range very shortly. But yeah, this is uber duper powerful. And that's what you want on the build. That's for sure. Because it's going to offer so much utility. Extra skill damage by... Yes, guys. Extra skill damage and extra skill repair, which is awesome. It is awesome. So, let's carry on. So guys, let's take a look at the weapons. The weapons simply are the Harmony. And I've opted for that because I want, yes, you've guessed it, I want in sync. So you don't have to use the Harmony, you could use whatever you want. As long as he's got in sync on there, you know he's going to give you a buff. A buff for weapon damage and a buff for skill damage, which is going to instantly help your turret, and that's what it's all about. So, hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases at double while both buffs are active at the same time. So guys, I like in sync. I think if you watch my content, you know perfect in sync for me is, yeah, this is a go-to. So that's why I'm using this. It's going to elevate my skill damage from the assault turret. So yeah, no brainer really. Now the secondary is the Pestilence. Pestilence, guys, you can see this is the best one I can roll, guys. I must have rolled a dozen of these, and this is what I've got. So, here's what it is. Plague of the Outcast. Hits apply debuff while they're dealing 100% weapon damage over 10 seconds. This stacks up to 50 times. whenever an enemy dies. With this debuff, all stacks are transferred to a nearby enemy within 25 meters. So guys, why am I using the Pestilence? One, that reload speed, 25% bonus is great, it helps, and I really enjoy using the Pestilence more now that I'm using the Overclock talent. That 25% reload speed is great. Now I do wish this was stackable if you had 2 skills, and again, synergized within the 7 meters, it was 50%. I wish, then damn, it would be an OP talent. However, it is not. It does not work that way, but 25% is still a nice buff to have, and again, anyone running with a Pestilence or an LMG, belt fed, you know, they're in a good place to have some really nice, cool reload speed. And again, if they're running with an AR, they're going to, again, find it quite beneficial to have this stack. So in terms of mods, guys, very simply on this one, we'll go back to the Harmony after. It's rate of fire, stability, and accuracy. Now, and Harmony, very simply again, guys, trying to stack as much damage as I can is crit chance, crit damage, and we have, when we have it, is rounds. Now, the Sidearm is simply the TDI card custom. I don't use this at all. It's there for show. It's a placeholder on the build. If I do use this on this build, it's very simply when I matchmake, I go in heroic content, and then we know all the directives are on. There's no ammo, so you have to use your pistol. And that's why I'm using this for simply the in-sync talent. Again, use what you wish. As soon as I have ammo, I switch out from my pistol. I'm not a big pistol fan user, so I switch out onto my primary and secondary weapons. So don't worry too much about this. So, headshot damage, critical chance, critical hit chance, and rounds at the bottom. Okay, let's take a look at the skills. In terms of skills, guys, I'm using the Assault Turret, which has a 10.9 second cooldown, which is great. Now, damage is 107k, that's base damage, and I get up to 170k with this. Again, someone will in the comment section will tell me I get a lot more. Of course you will, guys, of course you will, because my backpack talent is not a damage dealing talent. It isn't. I'm using the BTSU gloves. I'm foregoing damage from that as well. I could use Hannah U to get an extra 10% skill damage and then another 10% on the piece. I'm missing 20% potential skill damage. I get it. I understand. But the BTSU glove synergizes perfectly with the Overclock backpack talent. So bear that in mind whilst making a comment, because I know someone will. So damage 107k, which is decent, which is solid. It is, again, a decent way to go. I mean, you could get up to about 130k damage if everything is aligned, everything's in a good place. You could get 130, 128k damage, which is great. This, again, I forgo a little bit because of the pieces I have. And of course, if I use Technician, that's another 10% skill damage. So, yeah, guys, in theory, 30% skill damage you could accrue by using a different specialization. But it is what it is. So guys, talents or mods on here: damage, health, and skill haste. Now, my other skill, my primary skill, is the Restorer Hive. And again, that is a 1 second cooldown. 36 charges, it is 227k healing, which is not perfect. It is not OP. You know, when anyone looks, oh, this is not a healer build. Again, I could add Alps on here, add some more repair skills per piece, take off some skill haste. Yeah, there's so many different ways you can roll with this. I find this useful for me, and it's worked very, very well for me. But ultimately, it's a choice that you have. Do you pump more into repair skills, or do you keep with the skill haste? I opted with the skill haste to get them back quicker. But ultimately, mate, it's your build. You do what you wish on the build. This suits me and my style. So, in terms of mods, healing, repair charges, and of course, health. And we'll take a look at the stats. Now, again, you'll be shooting peanuts anyway. This is not a weapon damage build whatsoever, so don't worry about the crit chance, crit damage, headshot damage. It's irrelevant. It is. So we'll take a look at the rest of the stats. So, my all weapons damage bonus is 10%. We have 15% AR, and we have 27.8% at rifle and 15% LMG damage bonus. The talent's kinetic momentum, which will buff, yes, your both skills, which is great, Overclock, and the BTSU gloves, which is good, solid. And again, let's just take a look at the skill haste. It is 113.4%, which is a lot of skill haste. So you can, if you wanted to, maybe take some skill haste off and put some skill repairs on. Again, that's personal preference, up to you and how you set the build out. Listen, now I'm going to demonstrate how Overclock works. So you can see now I'm in the range. I've got both full stacks of kinetic momentum. What you used to do is have to proc this by damaging self, which is just over there. Not anymore. It just goes in, it procs straight away. So let me just pop the turret. Again, this is on full stacks, 140k, which is decent. I like that. I like that. Now, why shall I use this talent in sync? Let's take a look. 170k. And again, that's perfect. And that's what I want. To gain that extra 40,000 damage bonus. Yeah, 40,000. Beautiful. Right, let's just go over here a sec. How far can I go before? How far? 7 meters. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, get back. Right, guys, you can see it now. That green line, that is a 7-meter stick. That's the measuring stick. That's where you need to be for this talent to keep active, to keep buffing. And again, you can see by the blue icon on the screen at the bottom, that is the overclock talent. It's procced, it's used, it's effective. So let's take a look at something in particular. Let me just go around here. We'll go back. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to dismantle the turret. Okay, overclock is off. Now let me just check something out. We just want to shoot. Let's check the reload. Again, it's just like watching an advert, isn't it? It's that long. You're waiting for skip ad. You wait for that skip ad to come up and it pops up. There you go. Let's get it gone. Now let me just try this. Watch this. You see, that's much better. 25% better, in fact. But I like this on my Pestilence. And if I'm a DPSer, if I've got the Pestilence for that amazing weapon damage after that, those debuffs, those ticks, I'd love this for days. Because it just means I can do more damage over time. And that's perfect on the build. And again, with ARs, how does this work? Let's take a look. Very quick. It is very, very quick. And again, that 25% buff is decent. It is nice. And again, it reduces active skill cooldowns by 0.2 seconds per second for your allies and yourself. And again, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So the skill haste is crazy. The skill haste for this is mental. And that's why I like this build. Let me just pick this up. And again, I'm in the range. Yeah. Just pop this. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm just going to pop it. Look at those Hive Restorer. Little micro drones pop back very, very quickly for me because it's mental. It's crazy. I'm back again. And again, just to show, someone will say it's 500% skill haste in the range. Let me just do this and show you. See, guys, 10 seconds. 9 seconds. If it was 500%, it'd be like 2 seconds. So yeah, happy days, guys. This works a dream. It does. It really does. This is a nice setup. Again, it's all about synergy with your teammates. If your teammates maybe perform this with clanmates, maybe try this with clanmates and get close to them and then explain what you're doing and see the buffs that they get, I feel it's a decent setup for legendary content. And I think heroic content, stay close, personal, you have a really good build. Of course, guys, if you enjoy this video, thumbs doodle, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.